Hey guys, how y'all doing? I'm here to give you guys a recap on the new episode of Fruits Basket 2019, which is on episode 7. Now, this episode right here looks really simple. Nothing original, nothing special, nothing to feel like, oh, this was amazing kind of thing. It was okay, but it reveals a little bit more possibly about the Somas, about what's involved with them. So, if anything else, let's just get this started. We have to it that Toru herself decides to go to Hatori-san for that meeting whatsoever. Of course, we get to know a little bit about Mimimoji, that little boy that is the zodiac of a bunny whatsoever. Whatever the case may be you want to say. We get to know that Hattori gives advice to Toru in a cold way, possibly, maybe just to stop her or protect her. And we get more revelation of that. And he says to Toru, you might want to get the heck out of that house because I don't want, because something bad could happen and it's going to be something involving that you don't want to get yourself into, you know? And we get to know more when Momoji ends up telling Toru what happened with Hattori-san a long time ago. Although, I think that was a personal thing that they should just keep to themselves. We get to know Hattori actually had a girlfriend named Kana, something that some woman he fell in love with. But one time, some major incident happened with Akito where Akito got violent, and of course Kana felt guilty about it, and we see to it that Hattori ends up having to erase her memories completely. And we see to it that after Shigarek shows up with Hattori gives Toru a camera where he goes like, you know what's gonna happen if you don't show up, right? Although that meaning was supposed to be like I'll give you a camera if you show up or something, but I don't know what the case may be, even if that was something else. Although eventually, as time continues on with this episode, the gang ready for some New Year's spring whatsoever, and Toru is getting escorted by Hattori, where Toru almost fell down, and Hattori ends up saving Toru, but at the same time reveals his Chinese zodiac, which he's a seahorse, which many are trying, which he did not want it revealed, but it was revealed anyway. And we get to know a backstory between Kana and Hattori, how Kana became an assistant to Hattori, and eventually they fell in love, having enjoyment with each other, and this is where it got violent, or where everything falls apart. We see to it that Hattori and, of course, Kana asked Akito if they could get married, and they even begged him to. But apparently, Akito somehow became violent and says, "You know what? I ain't gonna give him to you. We don't need you. You can't even lift the curse whatsoever. Whatever this curse may be, whatever the case it is, this got into a point where Hattori got himself injured with his. He got injured with one of his eyes and went temporary blind for a while, or maybe he went permanently blind. Whatever the case may be." And this actually hurt very much because of what happened. We see to it that Akito blames Kana for what happened to Hattori, like it's all your fault, it's your fault, it's your fault, or something. I don't know if it's Akito being a little freaking brat or being a total jerk, but whatever the case may be, I don't know what the hell he's gone through or something, but whatever the case may be, this is where Momonoji says that Hattori never blamed Akito for this, you know? Never a thing at all. Eventually, Kana felt very ill and not feeling very happy because of what happened. And eventually, Kana ends up saying she wished she never met Hattori at all. And Hattori reluctantly, or with the help, or was convinced at the same time by Akito to erase her memories. And eventually he did, and Kana ends up moving on and left. And we get to know that Kana seemed to be doing fine herself as she found another man, which apparently was shown towards the end of the episode after Hattori wakes up with his clothes on while Torugo gets his shoes when he left at the staircase, and he overheard about Kana having to find another man and was really happy about it. And of course, she really hoped that she could at least see Hattori again, but however, that's not the case. But one thing was sure, Hattori was very happy that Kana finally found someone, you know, to give her happiness and everything else all together. And of course, Toru does come along with her shoes and does ask And Akito does ask Toru the same question when he was asked by Kana. What do you think happens when snow melts? And we see to it that Toru answers the same way how Kana says it. And Toru goes like, spring comes, you know? I'm thinking in my mind, oh my gosh, that freaking hits hard at home. Because throughout the backstory that was revealed in Hatori, Kana at the beginning does ask Akito, what do you think happens when snow melts, you know? Spring comes. And I'm thinking in my mind, my, aren't you like a sweet bottoms, you know? That kind of thing. Eventually, they reach the gate, and Shigure ends up taking his leave with Toru after Hatori escorts it. Okay, scratch that. Sorry for being a little confusing. Hatori escorts Toru at the gate and eventually leaves after Shigure shows up to take her home with the Somas, of course. And we get to see a black car where possibly Akito, along with another like escort of him, or possibly like someone next to him, ends up staring at Toru for a bit. Well, I think that's Akito, of course, like stares at Toru for a bit after driving the black car and goes off. We get to know that Toru does ask Shigure, like, is there something I can do to help out, you know? I mean, what is this curse that I was told about? But Shigure goes like, just be what you are. That's how you're helping us out. For the time being, I don't want you to like, for the time being, I can't tell you what it is yet until maybe the time is right. And eventually they go home and have a little like dinner cooking where Toru's gonna cook, etc. and gets ready to like do so. So in this episode, like I said, nothing special, original. We get to know why Hatori tries to help Toru out not to stay away from the Somas. Something about involving a curse. And then, you know, Akito being very violent. Although Hatori never blamed Akito what happened here and there. Makes me wonder, like, if Akito went through something way worse than what he has brought upon Hatori himself. And, you know, having to erase Kana's memories, and of course her moving on and finding another man, which was shown towards the end of the episode, kind of breaks my heart. But I go like, you know, like you wish for someone else to be happy. I mean, what else can you do after all that incident, you know? Although like I said and repeating myself again, Hatori never blamed Akito at all for this, and makes me wonder if this guy is just holding his emotions in, or just like keeping himself in control, or he's just like something else. While Akito himself, he looks like somewhat of a antagonist to possibly cause more trouble, but we'll have to see in the end. Guess we'll have to find out eventually. So yeah, just a simple backstory of what happened to Hatori and why he tries to get Toru to stay away from the Somas because of something else and this curse whatsoever. But guess we'll have to find out and as we keep watching. So until then, I will see you guys in the next video. I'm Alpha Zero, people. Have a good day, and I'll see you guys next time, right? Peace out. Bye-bye. Toot-toot-toot!